We all understand how strange of a year 2020 has been. And I think at first we had a bit of a feeling as these sports leagues emerged, is this really going to work out? And we're so lucky that these leagues have panned out. And we're at a juncture where some of these leagues are wrapping up. And it warrants the question, are the legacies of these championship teams in 2020 going to hold up?
The only event of recent memory, like during this happening, that I would put an asterisk on is Dominic Thiem winning the U.S. Open. That's the only thing I can possibly put an asterisk on, and it has nothing to do with the fact that it was played in front of no fans. The only reason it has to do with is that there was no Roger Federer, there was no Rafa Nadal, and Novak Djokovic got disqualified on what was utter garbage.
What are you talking about? He won the tournament.
Without the two best players in the sport in it.
It's not like they shortened the tournament. They didn't play the tournament like they normally would. They played the tournament. He succeeded. He prevailed. He won.
There was no Nadal. There was no Federer.
That's not an asterisk, though. That's like saying...
Yeah, sure. That is an asterisk. Are you kidding me? He won without the two best players in the sport participating.
Okay,
that is an asterisk.
Because the Rays just beat the Yankees when the Yankees were down Paxton and Severino, we're going to say, oh, Rays didn't deserve to beat the Yankees.
No.
Asterisk.
That is completely different. This is the comparison. It would be
How
like,
is that different?
It would be like the Rays winning a World Series in which the Dodgers, Yankees, and Astros just didn't participate in baseball. That is the comparison.
That's ridiculous. No, that is absolutely...
It's the truth. It's the truth. That is what the comparison
You
would be.
deal with the field you're dealt. That's all you can do. A guy like Thiem's worked for this his entire life. He's gone on a big journey to win a situation like that. How dare you take that accomplishment away from him?
I'm not taking it away from him. I'm just putting an asterisk next to it.
That is taking it away from him, though. You can't.
That's not taking it away from him.
You put an asterisk. No, that's disrespectful. That's
he deserves credit for winning. He deserves a lot of credit. It's still difficult to do, and
you realize how disrespectful putting an asterisk next to something is. That's reserved for extreme circumstances where someone didn't deserve something, like the cheating Astros.
Dude, an asterisk doesn't mean one thing. Like, it doesn't mean one thing.
Yes, it
does. An asterisk can mean a lot of different things. Yes, it can. What are you talking about?
You're demeaning the accomplishment.
The only thing that the asterisk, you put an asterisk next to something when there is an explanation because it didn't happen normally.
You don't need an explanation for Dominic Thiem. You do not need an explanation. He won.
Yes, you do, because Rafa Nadal and Roger Federer weren't even participating. There absolutely is a little bit of an asterisk there.
You're opening up an entire can of worms where now every record book you need to explain and explain and explain. Do we need to?
No, you don't.
Do we need to say that LeBron won his title in Cleveland? Oh, because Draymond Green got suspended.
That's different.
Asterisk.
That is completely different. This is completely different things. Nadal and Federer didn't participate, and they were healthy. They were healthy and didn't participate. Draymond Green did something that deserved to get suspended for. He deserved to get suspended. There's no asterisk on that title because Draymond Green did it to himself.
Team can't control that others didn't participate. That's their choice.
That.
He won. They didn't win. He won.
I completely understand what you're saying.
Then take away the asterisk.
I'm not taking away the asterisk.
This is outrageous.
I understand the difference between an individual and team competition when guys are actively opting out. But in the case of baseball, when you have a shortened season, no spring training, pushed back, and a different format for the playoffs, can you make a little bit of an argument how there's a little wrinkle on the legacy of this season?
Great point by our producer, Alex Walls. He just sent this along. By the Draymond logic, Djokovic deserved to be suspended too. So
yeah, but that was garbage. He wasn't trying to hit her.
Yeah, well, Draymond wasn't trying to kick someone.
Draymond was trying to kick someone. Are you kidding me? He was absolutely trying to kick someone. He's done it 800 times in NBA games.
You broke the rules. Serious? You're gone. You're done. It's not about intent. If it was about intent, Djokovic never would have been kicked out. He broke the rules. The Novak thing is besides the point.
The Novak thing is besides the point.
Team won.
The main point of the point that I was making was that Nadal and Federer didn't participate. The two go to the sport who both arguably probably would have went to the final, didn't participate, and were healthy. It absolutely is a minor asterisk on this tournament.
Disrespectful.
It's not disrespectful.
You
It's
can't
the truth.
justify major
It's the
achievements
truth.
like this. Very disrespectful and not truthful whatsoever. He won. He tangibly won. You can't
He
take
won
it
a
away from
tournament
him.
without two of the GOATs. He won a tournament without two GOATs.
All right, so you know what? You know what? Once Federer and Nadal retire and they're done, let's explain away the fact that they weren't in the sport for everyone who wins after them.
You are making outrageous
They are
comparisons right now.
they have this aura, they have this feel where they have to be there, or else everything else is delegitimized.
They're healthy. They're not retired. They're still supposed to play.
This is a terrible job. Terrible job. I expect better from you, Jackson.
I expect better from you.
Asterisk all over the place. Yeah, you won't give one to the Astros.
I did give an asterisk to the Astros. Of course, there's an asterisk, but at the same time, everyone else is cheating, so it doesn't matter.
You can't pick and choose.
We're not doing this right now. We're not. I'm not getting into a semantics argument with you right now. This is ridiculous.
Everything we're talking about is semantics. You're talking about an asterisk on a major achievement that someone works their entire life to achieve. Of course, it's a semantics argument. You're trying to write in your own rules. Since when do we have to explain away championships and trophies?
That's what we do. We do this for a living.
You're adding clauses. You're adding clauses. There's a difference between what we do analyzing them and absolutely attaching a clause to a championship. Well, you can only do it if Djokovic and Federer were there. What are they?
I will guarantee you. I would put my mortgage, I'd put my future kids, if I have them, on the fact that team would not have won the U.S. Open if Nadal or Federer were there. Plain and simple.
That's not true. That's also not true because you don't know they would have won.
How can all right?
You don't have a crystal ball.
I'm done with this because it's absolutely true.
And you're basing your clause on a hypothetical.
Yeah.
What a horrible hill to die on.
It's just the truth, though.
It's not the truth.
How
do you know Federer would have won?
How do you know that team would have won if they were there? This is the exact point of the asterisk. Like, this is the exact point of the asterisk. Asterisks are based on hypotheticals.
Jack, what else do you have for us?
We're going to switch sports here. We've talked about seasons that are either wrapping up or have finished in the NBA and the NHL, but I think baseball is a great spot to discuss as we come into the ALCS and the NLCS. Their season's been a bit different considering that they had a strange season, started a bit later, no spring training. Does that change anything for you guys?
I don't think there's an asterisk on it on the MLB for sure, because the only thing you could say, Eman, and you brought up the Astros thing, that would be obviously the only real way you could possibly put an asterisk on this title. And to me, you can't, because going forward, it looks like the playoff format is going to stay this way. And it looks like 8 teams are going to be, which is a whole different problem. Like that is a whole different problem. But it's not an asterisk because this is going to be the new norm going forward. And no matter what would have happened, I think the Astros would have ended up making the playoffs. And if we played 162 games, if not, maybe they would have won the division too. But I agree with you. I think that the tax of this season equates to 162 games. I really do agree with that. I think that's a great way to put it because they have been through so much. There have been like so many different threats of stoppages during the season. I mean, with stuff happening to the Cardinals and the Marlins and having to play millions upon millions of doubleheaders. I think there's no way you can put an asterisk on this title. And the other 3 teams deserve to be there too.
Let me throw a wrinkle on this though. If the Astros had played 162 games, not only do I think they would have not won the division, I think the A's were better during the regular season. If they had to deal with fans, they would have stumped this year.
How can you say that?
They would have been terrible. They couldn't even deal with the wrath of everyone going after them with no fans, no pressure, no
what are you
spotlight.
Talking about? They're dealing with the wrath pretty well. They're in the ALCS.
There's no wrath. You don't have
They're getting plenty of it on
40,000
social
fans
media.
booing them every night. They would have crumbled if it was 162.
They seem to be embracing it pretty well. Pretty freaking well.
There's nothing to
especially Carlos
embrace.
Correa.
They're playing in front of no one.
They're embracing the fact that no one wants them there. They are most certainly embracing that fact. I promise you that. They know what's going on social media. They see it. They're embracing the chaos. I love it personally.
How do you love that though? Because they're acting like they were somehow victimized. The league, the other teams are the victims, not them.
Everyone's cheating, dude.
This is where the disconnect is.
We can
Here
talk
comes the
about
unsubstantiated claim.
How's it unsubstantiated? Tell me how it's unsubstantiated when you've had reports upon reports of the Yankees cheating and reports above the Red Sox cheating and reports of every team in the league.
The
cheating.
Astros was proven. That's the difference.
It's been essentially proven that the Yankees cheated too. It is
essentially proven. Where's the proof?
Oh my God! You're just gonna deny facts. You're picking and choosing.
You
are the definition of picking and choosing right now.
Oh,
you are picking and choosing.
I'm picking. And
I will not accept that. I'm not accepting.
You're the one who won't give Dominic Thiem his trophy. Meanwhile, 60-game Astros. Oh, we don't have to explain that, but let's add a clause to Dominic Thiem. What did Dominic Thiem do to you?
Nothing. But he won without Nadal.
You're the king of clauses and asterisks, but you won't put one on a 60-game Major League Baseball season. But okay, Roger Federer wasn't in Dominic Thiem's tournament, so you know what? Let's delegitimize his life's achievement.
I'm not delegitimizing anything. Like I literally said this 20 minutes ago. I'm not delegitimizing his title. Jeez, I said that completely wrong.
Yeah, start again.
Legitimizing, is that right?
Correct. Yeah,
I'm losing the English language here, but I'm not delegitimizing anything. I'm just saying that it shouldn't be taken as a normal major that he won because he didn't win a normal. Like, it's a great achievement. It is a great achievement, but I can't say that if Federer and Nadal were playing that he would have won that tournament. And if it was injuries, it's different. Nadal and Federer being injured is different. They weren't injured. They backed out of the tournament completely. And that's the reason that I put an asterisk on it.
And I think you could make the argument if the Astros had to go to the Trop right now and have people screaming and booing at them and play in that dumpster hole that's Tropicana Field.
You could say the same thing about the Rays going to Houston, though. It's no different.
I'm just saying there are a lot of different clauses with these seasons, and you seem to want to apply it to team, but not your beloved Houston Astros.
It's because of the two best players in the sport not participating in the tournament. That's what it comes down to. It would be like the Dodgers and the Yankees saying, we're not playing this year. Would it be a legitimate title if any team won, if those two teams weren't participating?
Yes, if they deserve not to be there.
That's terrible.
If the Yankees got disqualified from the league.
No, not disqualifying.
Like Djokovic
it's
got
different.
Disqualified.
Okay.
Or
I'm not even making.
Or if the Yankees decided not to play, even if they decided not to play, Hal Steinbrenner said one year, we're not going to participate this year. And someone won, they won. The Yankees decided not to play. It's not their fault. They won. The Yankees didn't win.
You're telling me that if any team won a title with the two presumed best teams in the league just blatantly not participating, you're telling me you wouldn't put an asterisk on that title?
Because it was their choice.
That is an outrageous claim.
No one can control that. They opted out. You're fine.
It doesn't change the fact that it's not normal circumstances. There's absolutely an asterisk on it.
Dozens of players in every league this year are deciding, okay, we're not going to put ourselves at risk. We're not going to play. We're not putting asterisks because of that. Players are different than
an entire team.
No, it's exactly the same thing.
No, it's not. It couldn't be further. It couldn't be further from the same thing.
You seem to have no problem with the competitive balance that Major League Baseball had no problem playing into, with teams playing less than 60 games and getting in based on winning percentage. But all of a sudden you're like, okay, if a team opts out, we don't count it.
If an entire team opts out, there's 100% an asterisk. Everyone played this year. Everyone played 60 games. Everyone's doing the same thing.
Jack, you have more for us?
I just couldn't agree more, E-Man. It was an active choice to opt out.
There we go.
You can't control that.
Terrible. Oh,
everyone else showed up.
This is a good question from Alex, our producer. if the Marlins left the season due to COVID, because there was always a chance that their outbreak just wouldn't have stopped and they would have been too uncompetitive to continue playing, would it have still been a legitimate season if the Marlins left? I think it is.
I don't know about that.
Oh, you're going to put your claws?
This is a team that was just in the NLDS.
Who saw that coming, by the way?
Imagine removing a playoff team from this year.
We're talking 15 games into the season.
Yeah, but they ended up making the playoffs. How can you call it a legitimate season if you were to remove them from the equation?
Because they left. It's not the other team's fault. Again, we were talking about this before with the Titans. It's not the other team's fault that another team was irresponsible or another team contracted COVID. It's part of the deal. You play on.
What if the Chiefs and Ravens said we're not playing anymore?
If it was their choice to leave, legitimate.
That's crazy. This is I can't argue.
It's absolutely legitimate. These other teams can't control the decisions of their opponents.
I'm agreeing to disagree at this point. I can't believe what you just said. I honestly cannot believe it.
You're a little too outraged here. You need to slow your roll. You're taking this a little too far.
Ridiculous.
All right, Jack. Great stuff.